Let me get one more clap. Okay,
perfect.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. It's time to get a little Fronky up in here. This is Let Me Be Fronk.
It's time to get funky. We're all getting funky. It's time for Alyssa Fronk. Alyssa Fronk.
Hello and welcome back to Let Me Be Fronk. I'm your host, Alyssa Fronk. Today's guest on Let Me Be Fronk is a New York City-based writer, journalist, TikToker with an army of 170... Sorry. Today's guest on Let Me Be Fronk is a New York City-based writer, journalist, TikToker with an army of close to 120,000 followers, and shit talker who makes videos online, but officially supports herself as an editor at the Teen Vogue. Yeah. If you've happened to read about Zendaya wearing something fabulous, check, or the early stages of the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce relationship on the Teen Vogue website, double check, this guest probably wrote it. Her other noteworthy claims to fame are going super viral after vlogging about the day she was laid off from Bar Stool Sports. Tia Mowry used her voice on a TikTok once, and Dr. Miami follows her for reasons unknown. She's obsessed with all things Beyonce, rom-coms, iconic pop divas, and the Buffalo Bills like the proud Western New Yorker she is. Aside from her delightful sense of humor and strength of character, she is a professional good time gal and the type of friend everyone wants. Welcome to the show, Ashleigh Carter!
Whoa, that's like all me.
That's you. It's you, bitch. You did that. All you.
That's a hefty load that I'm bearing. That's crazy.
You should be proud.
Thank you for that. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you said yes and agreed to this.
Of
Welcome to the
course,
show.
Girl, I love yapping.
Same.
I yap constantly.
You are welcome anytime to come yap. Okay.
Just say when. I'll be here.
When? How are you, Ashleigh?
I'm doing good. Yeah. A little sleepy, working my little side gig.
She's a busy woman.
I know. It's really insane, but you got to do what you got to do in this world.
I love that you're busy. I mean, work is good.
Yeah.
Social plans, amazing.
I know. I'm trying to do it all, but
Who isn't? And you know what? In this city, in this age, you should be doing it all.
The grind never stops,
The grind never stops. I asked her almost 2 months ago to be on the show. She's so busy. This is the first time I could get her. And I was like, my God, in demand girly.
Well, listen, I was in Europe. Like,
we'll get to that.
You know, like sometimes a girl's got to go to Europe.
You absolutely should. And I was on those Instagram stories enjoying it. Do you have a good time?
Oh my God, so much fun. I did not want to leave. I was like, what am I doing in New York City? Yeah, it's great. But you know, every time I come back to New York, I feel like I get in JFK, I get in the cab or whatever, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I do live here. Like, this is fine. But something about, especially I was in Paris and then Dublin, like something is so magical about Paris, you know, that 100%. I just cannot. Oh my God. It's like
a dream.
It is a dream.
Everyone has the best time in Paris.
I know. And I feel like there was a wave for a little bit of people saying like, oh, Paris is overrated. And I'm like, you're just boring and annoying.
What? Yeah. It's overrated for good reason.
They said it's overrated and then it's dirty. And I was like, okay, first of all,
guess what?
I
right
live in New York City.
Right at home.
Yeah. I was like, maybe if you're coming from like the suburbs, yeah. It's a city, babe. But like, I don't think it's that dirty. So anyway, I'll defend that girl.
I love Paris. Like, Paris to me is New York in Europe.
Yes.
I get way more of a New York vibe there than I do London. London's okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut this.
Sorry to our British
London's all right. If I had to choose between London and Paris, it's Paris every time.
Yes. In Paris, like it's so cliche, but it feels so romantic and like of a different time because of how old everything, because of how the culture is just different. Whereas like, yeah, in London, it is just sort of New York City.
London actually feels dirty to me.
Yes. The tube.
The tube is all right. It overwhelms me, if I'm being honest.
Why do they have cloth seats on the tube?
Oh my God, I never thought about that. What in the bed bugs is going on over there?
Bed bugs, piss,
lice.
What are we doing?
Throw up?
No, I was there. I was like, I have to sit in this in my like grandma's like couch.
Okay, next time you better pack your hazmat suit.
Yeah, truly.
Grandma's couch.
Also, I'm way too tall for the tube, and I got very claustrophobic when I was there. Listener, I'm 5'10", okay? I'm a tall girl. So I feel like it was made for shorter people, and because it's very old. And so when I came back to New York and I got on the subway, I was like, oh my God, like stretching my arms out.
It was like the
everything.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it was great.
Well, I'm glad you had such a great time. You've had a busy year, now that I think of it.
Oh my God.
You've been on the go traveling.
Girl, this year has cured me of any flight anxiety. You want to get past any anxiety.
Did you
literally
used to be an
just have
anxious
to.
flyer?
Yeah. Okay. For a few years, I was so afraid of flying. For good reason. Why the fuck is a plane in the air?
That's
a big thing.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's in the air.
And it's heavy.
So I saw a video of like one of those huge Airbus, like beluga whale looking planes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know. Yeah, no.
Taking off the other
Like,
day.
no, I will not go on that.
I was like, no, that's not real. That's sci-fi.
It's the Titanic in the sky.
It is why the fuck is the Titanic in the sky? That's how I felt. And then I was like, oh my God, we really get on that. And it's just like, okay, yeah, hope for the best.
We're out here trusting these contraptions with our whole lives.
I know.
Our whole luggages.
Our whole
and
luggage.
our whole families.
But yeah, so I was like randomly so anxious about flying for many years. It randomly came on. And then especially in the last year or so, I feel like forcing myself to travel is just like, I've just gotten over it. And now, like,
Proud of you.
I feel so, girl, I took 3 planes to get to fucking Paris. So I was like, I was like, just
That'll do
let's
it.
go. Like,
That'll do
give
it.
me my little Biscoff cookie and let me just like put my hood up. And
Did you fly Delta?
no,
Doesn't matter.
I flew Air Canada, which
Oh,
I will never do again. The whole country of Canada is dead to me because of Air Canada.
What did you do, Air Canada?
I don't want to blame the whole country and Justin Trudeau, their leader, but
fair.
anyway, that's a whole other thing. People have been delayed and they lost my luggage. I had to go to the south of France for a second for no reason. I was like, this isn't where I want to go. Why am I in the south of France? What the fuck am I? No, not even the French countryside where rich people clearly live from Paris.
That's so odd.
It was very strange, but either way, I made it. We had a great time. It was fine. I didn't have my luggage for a day. My friends did have to buy me underwear. It was really dramatic. I was like, please, I'm so tired. Can you go get me underwear? And they did, you know.
I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
You were down bad.
Yeah. Those are the real girls. Real girls will do that for you.
Shout out. Hope you're watching. Yeah. I wanna back up real quickly and just give the audience a little reference point to how the hell we know each other.
Oh yeah.
So I had the pleasure of meeting Ashley back in the day when I used to work at a little media company called Now This. We didn't work on the same team.
Sorry.
It's RIP to the.
Is she still
I'll say
kicking?
RIP to the Now This we knew.
I know. It makes me sad. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, we didn't work on the same team, so we didn't have as many chances to connect, but I knew who you were. Like, you do have a presence about you.
I also think it's interesting. I feel like we became friends after both of us stopped working there.
Which has been the case for a lot of my friendships through Now This. Like, once we got out of the office and our social circles just naturally overlapped and crisscrossed, we had more times to connect outside of work, which I've become so much closer to so many more people after I stopped working with them.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to be really close to your coworkers and work with them.
Yeah.
It's not a recipe I recommend.
It does get really complicated.
It does.
And yeah, but I also feel like it's not like we were in the trenches. Look, I've worked in worse jobs.
Oh yeah.
But like it does sort of feel like all the people that worked there when we were there, it was sort of this like moment in time where
it was a good time.
We were growing so rapidly. We were becoming so legit, you know what I mean? And had such good content. So when that was sort of like spiraling down and people were just like leaving, it was like every time I've seen a Now This person or like hung out with a Now This person, like we're just like, what the fuck was that, huh?
I know.
Like it is like a weird like connecting point that we all sort of have.
I loved that job for a long time. That was one of my favorite job ever, truth be told. Like, yeah, but I'm grateful I had that experience because it did really connect me to so many amazing, wonderful, cool people in the city. And it was a really fun time to work there.
It was so fun.
It was the BuzzFeed of that time, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I would go to a party and people were like, where do you work? I'm like, Now This. I'm like, what? That thing happened to me all the time. And I was like, Not me working at the It Place in New York.
I know. And even if they didn't recognize the name, if you like showed them the page, they'd be
Everyone
like,
knew.
oh, they're like those videos.
They're like the Facebook videos my mom watches. I'm like,
Yeah. I was so excited when I got there, and I was like, this is incredible, because I had come from local news. And if anyone who's ever worked in local news,
tell us everything.
let me just tell you something about local news. First of all, support local news, okay?
Period.
Because, like, first of all, they are delivering just like this straight up what's going on. You want to know what's going on in your community? Those reporters, they're getting 15 cents an hour to tell you straight up what the fuck's going on. They, like, most of the time they don't have an agenda.
Right.
They're in, like, you know, Kentucky, and they're from California. You know what I mean? Like, I always say support local news, but it does make me sad that, like, people, you cannot survive on a local news salary. You can't, like, the hours are insane. Like, I knew people who were in it for like 10 plus years that were like, yeah, I'm still working nights, hoping to get on day shift. I'm like,
so
what if
sad.
what?
It's an industry that does not uphold a good quality of life.
I know.
I mean, I studied journalism in college, so I was seriously considering being like an on-the-scene reporter and doing local news. And then when I started to do my research, and I lived in Charlotte, which was one of the much better markets to work in because the salary is higher being in a central city, it was still a shit salary. And I was like, wait, so I'm going to work 20 hours a day and get paid, like you said, 15 cents an hour for what? I was like, I don't want to be miserable all the time. I love journalism. I believe it's very important, and we need news. We need local news, especially.
Yeah.
I just wasn't willing to make that sacrifice personally.
Yeah, and I also really wanted to be a reporter. I put together a reel and everything. It's somewhere out there.
Let's find it.
It's on YouTube.
Would you like to share? I'm putting it in.
One of them I know for sure.
We'll find it. We're going to put it in. Only your best
I will
work.
find. I think I know where it is.
I bet
But
you were so cute. Like,
one of them was like, I think I was standing in front of like an ice rink, and I was like, people in Rochester are excited that the winter is here. Here you can see, like, I was just like such a little like 22-year-old silly goose. But I was in Rochester, New York, and like,
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I also wanted to say another point of connection for us is Ashley's from Western New York, and my entire family, I come from a long line of New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And I was born in Rochester myself, and I lived in Batavia until my family relocated to North Carolina, where I went on to really grow up.
yeah, I know. I love Western New York. I will always
beautiful.
speak highly of it. I love it so much. But when I was like, I want to become a reporter, I want to apply to these jobs, you slowly learn that a reporter you have to move to these small markets. So for people who don't know, like, every city is ranked based on like their market. So New York City's number 1. I think number 2 is LA, and then it's like Chicago, and then like it goes from there. So Rochester, I think, was number like 70 something.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then Buffalo was like number 49. It was in top 50.
That was a big difference.
Because I think Buffalo, because it's a big sports town too. So we have the professional
Bills,
sports.
ever heard of them?
Yeah, girl. And because people in Canada also watched Buffalo, like,
That makes
media
sense.
and stuff like that. So yeah, when you want to become a reporter, you have to start in these really small markets. And as a reporter, they lock you in. Like, you have to be in a 2-year, I think at minimum, contract. So you have to go to like bumfuck, you know, Ohio, like, no offense to Ohio or anything, but like some small ass town. You're locked in for 2 years because you have to like develop your reporter skills, and then you slowly move up from there, and then like, hope to God you make it on the Today Show when you're fucking 45. It's such a long process. And I was like, do I want to do that? Because every reporter I met had become so burnt out by 30. And I was like, actually, I don't know about this. And again, shit hours. I will support local news. Like, I love watching local stations around here and stuff like that. But it is such a grind. It is such a dying art because of digital media and everything. And it's, yeah. But you know what? That's my roots. And I'm very proud that that's my roots, because I feel like I came into now this with a different sort of outlook than other people that work there. Because like, not that I'm not like, oh, I'm better than everyone, but I had a more sort of like grateful approach, because I was sort of like, you guys don't even fucking know
How bad and hard and boring it could be.
You do not know how bad other media outlets are. Like, this is like, we have snacks in the office. We have like fucking I think when I got hired, it was like Pride, and we have all these Pride events. I was like, you guys have money for this? You know what I mean? They could hardly get us pizza and like, like so I came in with like such a different perspective. So that now this was such a wonder.
You really went from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Truly.
Wow. What year did you come over to Now This? Was it 2019?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was so nervous all the time.
Really?
Like, because I just moved to New York. And so I was just like in this place and like everyone just was, I don't know. I felt like such a odd man out.
It feels like you're in the big leagues, especially with that office, because it was all the other media companies under the Group 9 umbrella. It was The Dodo, Thrillist, Seeker.
Yeah.
So it was a ton of media people together. And these are some of the best people in the business. We can talk shit all day, but I'll say one thing. There was talent in that building.
Yes.
A ton of talent. Like, I really, really respect a lot of the people I used to work with.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it felt like the big leagues. Like, I was shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
For at least the first year I was there.
And I remember, and it was like it's so much more, not cutthroat because like it wasn't really like that, but it was more, some of my superiors there were like, no, that's a bad idea. No, next. And I had never really experienced that. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we got to be like on it. And I sort of attribute that so much, that job, to sort of how I think of like making TikToks and stuff like that. I'm sort of like, okay, you got to be quick. It has to be concise. You need to get someone's attention. And I really do attribute that to partly that job. So
I love that. I love that you can look back and kind of pinpoint the nutrients of the things that you take with you. You're doing it right. You're learning and growing and evolving.
You've got to be grateful for even the weird shit in your life, because it's all just like a little recipe that sort of makes
it's all
who
experience.
you are.
It's all learning moments. It's all knowledge and these moments where you're challenged and you grow and you evolve. It's all good stuff.
Absolutely. And even like the drama that we went through at Now This and stuff, it's like that even made me sort of like reevaluate who I am as an employee, how I am at work, because it is a job at the end of the day. They don't give a fuck about you.
No, it was it was a good wake up call. And it wasn't even like, I think it was a moment in time really, because everyone was kind of examining where we were at in life when the pandemic happened and hit, and we all were forced to literally stop in our tracks and re-examine like, okay, I'm working at this company, I'm giving them X amount of hours of my life every single day. Is this worth the exchange? Am I happy? Do I have a good quality of life? Am I being supported? Are there opportunities for growth there? So we were all really just like putting the magnifying glass up to our careers and being like, is now the time to pivot? Or
pandemic really did a number on us, huh? On the world, I would say.
Just us.
Just
it
us
was
in
the
this
hardest
room.
on us too.
Me specifically.
If you care to indulge us, I want to hear more about your early days, if you will. Just kind of take us through like the brief evolution of Western New York, growing up, your education, how you got here.
Oh my God, a little bit of history of me.
Yes, love. I personally love hearing people's backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is who they are.
Oh, I'm obsessed with it. And every podcast, whenever they're like, take us to the beginning, I'm like, yes, take us to the start. It's like the beginning of a movie. I love beginnings of movies.
I'm like, what are their parents like?
Yes.
Did they grow up in a religious household? I need context to who they are as a person.
You're like, for no specific reason, but why?
Like, I need like an accurate depiction of this person.
Yeah.
So whatever you feel comfortable sharing, hit us.
Okay, so October 19th, 1991, 1 a.m.
Libra!
She's a Libra girl. She was born
91?
Yeah, 91. Oh. Let's bleep that. I'm just kidding. Let's take that out. No. Born in Syracuse, was raised in Buffalo. My mom's from Buffalo. My dad's from Syracuse. They moved there. I'm number 3 of 4. So I have 2 older brothers, little sister.
Shout out. Hope they're watching.
They won't.
Will your parents watch?
They might.
Hi, Ashley's parents. Thank you for making her A+ on the group project.
Bonnie and Rich, you guys did great.
They seem like a fun time, I gotta say.
They are. Everyone always messages me about my parents and they're like, they're so funny.
I love your
they're
dynamic with
so
them.
Cute. Yeah.
You're always just going on a little adventure with the dog. I'm like, you're the favorite. You have to be.
Okay, we can cut this, but to my
Blink
siblings.
twice if you're the favorite.
Did you get that? No, I'm very close with my parents. I'm very grateful for that. I wasn't always, and I feel especially my mom and daughter moms are very.
It's hard in the teenage years. You are not meant to get along with your mom when you're a teenager.
I should not have lived in the same home as her. Like I should have had a cabin in the woods away from her and society. Honestly, I was a menace. I was a mean girl. Like
Were you really?
Just to my family.
Okay,
Like
I was like, were you mean in
wasn't-
high school? Were you like bully?
No, I
like,
was not a bully.
Because I actually cannot have bullies on this show.
No, I was not a bully. I more was just like, I'm just gonna try and be funny and like just be, you know. And I was a hoe for sure. Like, but I wasn't mean. My mom and I really butt heads when I was a teenager, and it was my two older brothers, and then it was me. I was the baby for like 5 years, and my parents were like, we're gonna be done. Like, they planned on no more kids after me, and my sister was like the ultra oopsie, and she already knows this, so she's fine.
What's the age difference there?
She's 5 years younger than me.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they were like, in the clear, we got this kid in kindergarten.
I know.
Ding dong. A stork
Here
dropped
she
off a little
is.
baby.
I sort of wonder if I had been the baby of the family, if I would have been like a true terror and like never really
I'm the girl of the household.
Yes.
I'm a princess.
the baby, like the baby of the family.
Might have
is
been good for you and your parents that you weren't
I know.
the only girl.
That I was like,
I say that with love.
no, I 100% agree. Also, I feel like it made me sort of be like, oh, I have to be more outgoing and I have to be more like, I wanted attention more. You know what I mean? Like this,
You had to work for it.
I had to work for it because this like adorable little baby came and I was like, who the fuck is this? And she moves into my room of all places. Like,
You had a baby in your room?
well, when she was like, you know,
I
once
was
they
like,
can move the baby out of like the bassinet and stuff, then yeah, the baby did move into my room.
I understand.
The baby, my sister.
It had to be done. Had to be done.
But yeah, I was just like such a nightmare when I was a teenager. I don't know what happened there. I was really just angry and like I felt things very strongly. I know every teenager, like you're so, you know, everything's so heightened, but everything felt, you remember, it was like so detrimental.
Yeah.
I remember specifically one time, my first like boy that I was like, the kids now call it a situationship, but we were like seeing each other and then he decided, actually, I want to date this other girl. And I was like, what? You know? And I remember telling my parents, like, I really need to go to Lisa's house tonight because like I'm really upset about this boy. And my dad's like, I'm not driving you to Lisa's house. And I had a fucking meltdown. I had like a screaming tantrum meltdown. And I was like, if you don't let me go to Lisa's house. So they did, obviously, because they were like,
Oh my God, they were like, shut the
out
fuck
of our
up.
house. What really
You had
helped-
power.
What really helped was like having siblings really helped because once my other siblings started like acting up and like doing their own things, they sort of stopped paying attention to me. I stopped being like grounded and stuff like that. So I don't know how only children do it. I like bless them. When all the attention's on you, I literally would be like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm grateful for having siblings because it really balances out and you can kind of, when you don't want the attention, you can sort of just like do your own thing. High school, I had diagnosed ADHD, but my parents never treated me for it. I got like diagnosed in middle school. And then I think they kind of were like, put her on medication. And my parents were a little hesitant about that, which is fine. Like, I think they were like, I don't know if we want to medicate her right away, whatever. So I was like a very sort of mediocre student. And because of that, and so like I didn't get into any 4-year colleges when I was out of high school, and that was like such a turning point for me because I was like, what the fuck? First of all, I don't want to be at home anymore. I want to go away to college. I wanted to have that like 4-year experience. And then I sort of had this like complex where I was like, wait, I feel like I'm smart in a way, but like the grades are not reflecting that. You know what I mean? And it really has stuck with me. I've actually talked about this in therapy before, where I was
thank
like,
you for sharing here.
It really made me be like, oh, I need to try and be smart and well educated and like well read and all this stuff, and to prove that like those mediocre grades were nothing. And you know what I mean? I always got, my report cards were always like, socializes at the expense of learning. I like to yap. Okay.
Sewer. The
So
gift
I
of
was
gab.
yapping.
She's bringing a little personality to the classroom.
Oh, okay. I can't yap in French class, Miss whatever her name
Isn't
was.
that the point?
Oui, oui.
Language.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I went to community college for a year, which by the way, community college is fucking great. If
Yeah.
you don't know what you want to do, go to community college. You will get the craziest mixture of human beings you've ever seen. It will be every single age,
Every walk
it
of
will
life.
be, the professors are like, so they're like, I don't know.
A's.
Yeah, like, so really recommend community college if you're unsure. Like, don't spend the money yet. Like, go whatever. So I did one year. I did 1 year of community college, and that was a really kind of changing year for me. I got really good grades. I think I got like a 3.9 or something like that, and that was the first time I was like, I can do this if I fucking focus. Like, when I got to the 4-year college, I was like, Mom, I think I do need some medication. Like, finishing things is hard. Like, getting out of the house is really hard for me. Like, it was like those little things that I suffer with. I have like hyper focus where I'm like, if I'm looking at something or doing something, like I can't drag myself away from it. It's like very difficult. So that was always hard. So yeah, then I got Adderall.
Hey.
But yeah, so I went to a SUNY school, if anyone knows.
Shout
Upstate
out.
New York, state school. What's up? I joined a sorority. That was life changing.
Oh, what sorority?
Delta Phi Epsilon.
Hey.
Were you in one?
No.
No.
I went to 2 Rush events and ultimately decided it was not for me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Where did you went to school at?
In Charlotte, UNC Charlotte. Okay. So North Carolina State School.
Yeah. Was it a big school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Brockport was like a fraction of that size, and it was D3, but it was like a lot of people played sports. People went to school for like kinesiology and like being a gym teacher or whatever.
Did your parents go there?
They did.
Shout out. And they met.
How did you know that?
I think you told me that once upon a time.
Did
and I
I?
remember that detail because I thought it was really cute.
That's where my parents met. Yeah. So that's sort of also why
Legacy school.
I know, and they were so excited about it because then they could come visit me.
That's why you're the favorite.
You know, they were like, we weren't sure about this one in the teen years, but she has redeemed herself.
They're like, my God,
You know?
she's going to school. Thank God.
Yeah. They're like, get her the fuck out of my house. So I will say, like, Greek life at a small school is a way different ball game. It is way more relaxed. It's not like
But they were actually nice.
Yes, people are actually nice. Like, I see these girls on TikTok and I'm like, oh my God. Like, if you have a hair out of place, they probably are like, no, we're not
It's
letting
intense
that bitch
these
in.
days.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. And so I get like, we didn't have any of that. None of the like, you know, racist, like, oh, if you're not like a size 2, you know what I mean? Which like, come on, like that is for sure a thing at some of these places. Yeah. But so ours was not like that, which was really nice. And it sort of like put me together with people that I don't think I would have normally hung out with, which I feel like a job is sort of like that in a way.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I would never fucking talk to you, but here we are yapping away, gabbin on a Tuesday morning at the water cooler. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. That's sort of how the sorority felt. And now I'm like still so close with some of those people. A lot of them actually, like my best friend. Yeah, my best friends from the sorority. So yeah, I was wild in college though.
You had a good time?
Yeah, girl. I was slinging this puss around. And
Had to be done. Had to be done.
Where else was I gonna do it? You know, like I was set free.
You were out of your family's house.
I was like, well, everyone else is doing it.
Listen, I commend you because I was polar opposite, terrified to touch boys. I was so happy when I got the freedom of college, but I was so scared to fuck it up or get in trouble or do anything, and I would have to be sent home, and I did not want that. I wanted my independence and my freedom, so I played it so safe.
I love how you say sent home, like you having sex would get you sent to the principal's office.
I couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk it. What if I got pregnant?
What if my mom found out?
No, I was just too scared, and I didn't date much at that point, so it just was a lot to jump into. And looking back, I'm actually glad I went about it that way, because I honestly just did focus on school and focus on making friends. And even if I had wanted to go there, I think I would have made some really bad decisions. Yeah. And given boys the time of day who never deserved it. So for those reasons, I'm glad I stayed in my little repressed. Yeah. I think I like kissed one boy all of college.
Yeah. Did your friends there, were they like hooking up and stuff? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. Everyone was, you know, I was kind of living vicariously through them and just listening to all their stories and getting a kick out of it. But I also didn't really meet anyone I super connected with and that also was interested in me.
Yeah.
I did have a big college crush.
Well, yeah. Where is he now? Is he balding?
He's bald. He's fully bald. He's fully bald and getting married, and I'm happy for him. My friends are gonna die. They're gonna die when they see this. Actually, funny story about that one. We were really good friends throughout college. I mean, he was one of my like favorite college friends. We had all the same classes, same major, and I had such a big fat crush on him. Oh my god, wait, this is actually
Paige, you were yearning for years.
badly. Like I had it bad for him, and he knew it. And one time he asked me to go get sushi with him, and I didn't know if it was a date or not. So I was like, I think this is a date. And all my friends were like, it's a date. It's a date. He's asked you to like go hang out with him off campus after school. And so I'm like, okay, I'm like putting on a cute outfit. You know, I'm trying to be like perfect. We go to the sushi restaurant. I guess I was facing the door and a girl who was in our class walked in the door and I go, oh, that's so-and-so. He goes, no fucking way. She can't see me. And he ducks at the table. And I was like, what? And he goes, I'm kind of talking to her. I don't want her to think I'm on a date with you.
No, that is a sitcom moment.
I knew that it wasn't a date in that moment.
Okay, well, where's your hair now?
Honestly, hilarious. I mean, even at the time I knew it was funny. I got back home and I told my roommates, we were screaming, laughing, like, no, come on. He ducked. He fully ducked below the table and he said, she can't see me. I don't want her to think this is a date. And I said,
okay, that's like a Joey from Friends moment. Like literally, that is insane.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh, you cry though. So.
Oh no, it's so funny. It's gonna go in my book one day.
100%. It's a formative moment.
And the time I conned him into kissing me. That will also go in the book.
Oh, you did kiss him?
After college. You want to hear? Okay, this is a really good story. So I kind of came up with this master scheme that he was going to be my New Year's kiss. He was having a party at his house. I went with my friends and we were also invited to another party. And our initial plan was we were going to go to this guy's party first and then to another friend's party. And halfway through, I got the vibe from the group I was with that no one wanted to leave. They were kind of like, you know, doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And I knew that they didn't want to leave, but I was like, I need to leverage this. So I went up to our group when he was there. And I was like, guys, we got to get going. We got to go to Gabby's. He's like, whoa, where are you going? Where are you going? No, you can't leave. I was like, we're invited to another party. We have to go. We're going uptown. We're going to see fireworks. We have to go. And he's like, no, please stay here. Like begging. And I was like, sorry, I have a New Year's kiss waiting for me and I really need to go get it. And he goes, I'll be your New Year's kiss. I'll kiss you. I'll do it. And I was like, fine.
Oh my God. Okay, Mastermind by Taylor Swift starts playing in the background.
Literally, I was crazy. And then, countdown starts. We're standing in front of the TV. He turns around. He says, Happy New Year's, Alyssa, and just lays one on me. And I was in such a state of shock. I couldn't believe it was finally happening. My entire face paralyzed. I was like, I literally fish lips him. I fumbled the hardest I ever have in my life. I just dead lips fish kissed him. Not anything. He might as well have been kissing a corpse. I was giving him nothing. No, I just was like, I was like,
go on, girl, give us nothing.
I was just like, oh my God, he's kissing me. That was all that was going on in my head. And then he actually kissed me twice. Like he kind of like pulled away and he came back for more. I think he was trying to give me like another chance. I couldn't pull it together to save my life. But yeah, that's how I conned him into kissing me. And then the whole night I was like, like such a little evil. And my friends were like, I can't believe you actually pulled this off. Because I told them, I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. I have a whole plan set out and it worked.
Are you over him now?
Oh yeah, he's engaged. Haven't seen him in years.
You know, the one that got away, maybe. But sometimes I feel like with crushes too is like when you were friends with him, so maybe it was different.
I had a legitimate friendship with him, yeah.
But it's like sometimes I found that like you sort of romanticize this idea of them and then
totally.
And then I find too with that when either I move on or like, you know, it's not going to happen. So like whatever, I start to sort of see them in a new light and I'm like,
like the human they are.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, your personality does suck. Like the rose-colored glasses come off.
No,
and I'm not horny anymore.
As a society, us women and people who date, just if you date other people in general, we need to come together and learn how to remove the rose-colored glasses a lot sooner because it will save us a lot of trouble, heartache, and time.
I know, but I
I have a recommendation for this.
Oh, you do?
My therapist got me on this. Yeah, she
Okay.
said, actually, no, it was Tinks.
Therapy or Tinks Ask Me Anything? Her
Close.
daily Instagram.
I thought it was my therapist. And then I remembered I told my therapist about it. And she was like, that's a great idea. So I started making an ick list of anything disgusting, remotely just like a turn off, repulsive, weird, anything that was negative. I just make a list of it, whoever I'm dating. And it's to remind myself that they're human and to stop idolizing them and like putting them on a pedestal and being like, they're human. And it really like helps bring me back down.
Okay.
And it reminds me like this is actually who they're showing up and being. So
Yeah.
remember it.
That's a good idea. I am such a romantic fantasizer. Like I am so, which is why I was so slutty which is why I'm so slutty. Like
Take the power back. We're taking the word back.
Like it from such a young age, from a teenager, like, you know, like I wanted that so.
I admire that so much about you. Who would I can't even imagine having the confidence and the poise and like just like being like, I'm a woman and this is my body.
Girl, I wish I knew where it came from. I need to go back to therapy so that we can figure this out. Actually, whatever. I'll just say I am who I am. But
You are.
it just,
I love that.
I have always just loved the idea of like having this passionate, beautiful connection with someone. And like, I don't know.
Are we going to act like we don't like to be smooched? Everyone wants to kiss.
I'm so romantic. Like,
Every day I think, why am I not making out with someone?
yeah, constantly. I want to be held
upsetting.
all the time. I need someone to hold my hand. Like I
want to be adored.
yeah, and have someone obsess over me and be a little scared of me. That's all I want. Boys. But no, what I was going to say is that like I'm the classic like rose-colored glasses girl. It's almost like, it's funny because I feel like I've seen other people relate to this too, where they say like your body sort of reacts differently, even though
Yes.
your brain is like, oh my God, this is fine. This is going great. But your body and the way you act
It's
around
intuitive.
them shows actually how you feel about them. And I've tried to recognize that more. And as I've gotten older, it is easier to recognize that.
And what are just, if we could share with the audience, what are some of the signals? Because maybe someone else is experiencing this tuning in.
Yeah. Well, number one is just like anxiety. And if you look, there's so many, it's so complicated because people who have been hurt in the past, they may have sort of like an anxious attachment and whatever.
Yeah.
But you need to listen to why am I feeling so anxious? Why every time this person tells me, oh, I'm talking to another human being, your brain is automatically like, who was it? Was it a woman? What does she look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's my fucking coworker, Rick. Like, you know, like, you need
Rick.
to ask yourself that. Why do I want to look through his phone? Why do I want to do this? And again, like this could also stem from like, maybe you were hurt in the past and maybe this person hasn't displayed those things, but you should explore that, because when that's happened to me, I have found things that I wasn't
really.
that I didn't want to see.
Every time you've had the inclination to go and look, you have found something.
There's one ex-boyfriend in particular, two actually. One of them,
And you know who you are.
yeah, I won't name your first and last names, but no, there was one in particular, and I felt like a fucking crazy person all the time. And I also remember him saying once too, you were so confident when we first met. Yeah.
Well, what did you do to my friend?
Yeah. It's almost like, okay, well, you killed whatever was there. You killed whatever sparkle. And
It's like, that's so perceptive of you. Would you like to go a layer deeper?
oh my God. Yeah. I wonder what the fucking common denominator is here. Like, what has changed in my life? Oh, you're big ass in my fucking life. But anyway,
You're big ass in my life.
he was 6'4". That really rose-colored glasses, ladies. He was so attractive. We would like that, like not to be shallow, but when you are dating someone hot, it really does.
It unravels you.
It
Listen.
Because like
I've had a few.
your friends and family also do. So I don't want to hear it from anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember after we had broken up, one of my friends was like, but you guys look so cute together. And I go, yeah, he was a raging alcoholic too. So like, anyway.
People love a pretty couple. We're always rooting for it.
I
We're
know
so
you
shallow.
see a hot couple, but then you're like, what's really happening there? Back to the basics. recognize how you're acting around them. I also think that if you don't feel like you fully can be yourself, or like if you feel like
Red flag.
you're putting on a character almost, and you're almost like, you know, you're mindful of what you say, and it's like, it should feel like, not at first, because when you're getting to know someone, it's always going to be awkward. But if you've been dating for a little while and they don't feel like one of your friends, like you're hanging out with one of your friends, and you can just like be yourself, you can just like show them who you are, you need to kind of look at that too, because it's like, do you feel like they're going to judge you, or is that something internally that you're going to need to address?
Right.
Like, that's also another thing. And then also like physically, like if you don't feel attracted to them in a way, or you feel like you're only sort of, maybe we're having sex just because I think we should, like, or you know what I mean, like you should,
or maybe if you're even like, this is a nice guy, I should keep seeing him, don't do that to someone. That's not fair to them as well.
And like,
don't be lukewarm about someone, because you don't want someone to be lukewarm about you.
Yes, you should be lusting after them. And I've also been guilty of that too, where I'm like, well, this person's nice and he's like treating me well, maybe I should keep going on dates with him. But then I'm like, wait, but I like sigh fucking every time I see them text me.
Red
I'm
flag.
like,
Not an eye roll.
yeah. And I'm like, fine, like, you know. But the thing is, like, connecting with people is so rare, and it is not something that happens all the time. So when it does happen, maybe in not the exact capacity that you see, you're like, well, maybe it could grow. And I've learned recently that this is like a woman thing too. I feel like I've learned this from TikTok, where like women like can see themselves growing and like having more attraction to someone.
Yes.
And men, it's sort of like they know right away, or they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh no, if I'm not attracted to you right now, I probably won't be. You know what I mean? It's not going to develop over time. Like,
And also we should take that information and apply that more to be like, we don't need to put on this show.
Yeah.
Just show up exactly who you are, period, because they're going to make a decision in a split second.
yeah, exactly.
So be yourself, bitch.
And you can be like, well, I just like wasn't at my best at that moment. I wasn't at my goal
And
weight,
they're
and blah, blah,
lost.
blah.
They're lost if
And
they
it's
don't
like,
want you.
No, if they're not attracted to you, like it's not going to, like, I don't know. I've learned that recently too. But yeah, I don't know. Those rose color. I'm a romantic girl. I really
change.
am. It gets me in a lot of trouble, but it's less so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, you have a good head on your shoulders. Like I know you're not out here just being like reckless to be reckless, and for the story of it all. Like
no, not anymore. Maybe in my early 20s.
That was
definitely.
a 20s thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now in my 30s, I definitely am very sort of mindful of. I will know immediately on like the first date, like no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not even in a like, oh, you get so picky when you get older. It's like, no, you just recognize the signs of like when you're going to be attracted to someone, when you're going to actually connect with someone. You kind of just like see it quicker. At least that's how I feel.
Now, you, my sister, are also a fellow air sign. She's Libra. I'm an Aquarius. We're air signs.
Romance. I'm a fucking Libra.
We are intellects.
We are intellects.
We are intellectuals. And I'm sure you feel similar in this. You really need a mental connection with someone, or you need to kind of speak the same language or a similar language to really be attracted to someone.
Yes. I need them to be funny. It is a non-negotiable for me. I cannot be making my silly, goofy jokes and bits, and you're just like, that's so funny. I'm like, what are you giving? Yeah. You need to give it back to me.
This is a routine, honey.
I need that in a
You need
person.
the banter.
Yeah. And I don't know, not to sound like a guy on fucking Hinge, like, I love witty banter. It's like, you wouldn't know
You
that.
want to be entertained.
Yeah. And like, it's just like, I need someone on the same
Hello.
level. Like,
You're a goofy gal.
yeah. And I like to
You
be a
want to
goofball.
giggle and laugh and make memories.
And also, like, my parents have been together for 35 years, and that is the base of their relationship, is being
Love.
funny together.
They're friends. Like, they get
They
along.
are
They like
friends.
each other. What a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's not this just like, you know, I don't know what their life is like. Like, you know, it's not some like big passion thing. It's like at the base and crux of it is like they can have a goofy time. My mom can sing her little silly songs, and my dad's like, oh, have you heard this new song she's singing? You know what I mean? Like, they have that. And so I feel like I was raised seeing that, and I'm like, that's what I want. Like, that's how I connect with someone.
What a beautiful example.
But also, I will say, for people who are children of divorce, when you see a marriage long term like that, it is like ebbs and flows, and it's complicated.
Of course.
They're in a very great place right now, but it's like they go through moments where they're like, sorry, not to
human.
expose my
They're human.
but I think people who maybe have not seen a marriage like that, and it gets really mundane sometimes. It's just like, this is the same person all the time, and that's okay. Like, you're not gonna be obsessed with them all the time, but they find new ways. They're sort of in their like second phase of life where they're having fun. They're going on like trips with their friends and stuff like that. So yeah, so I sort of looked at that as an example. But yeah, back to being an air sign, intellectual.
Yes.
I'm also, do you know your whole chart?
Yep.
Okay.
Try me.
So
Let's go.
I'm a Pisces moon. So
Okay.
I be crying. Yeah. And I'm very emotional. And a Leo rising.
Girl.
Yeah, she's a little fiery.
I'm a Leo moon and a Cancer rising.
Whoa.
Yeah. So kind of opposite there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, I come from Pisces. Both my parents were Pisces. Almost so many people in my family are Pisces.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
I love strong personalities. I'm someone who, I love the Leos. I love the Geminis.
Yes, I'm a Gemini sympathizer. Like, my best friend is a Gemini. It's an air sign thing.
I like Geminis. I like Gemini men too. Oops, I said it.
I know. Gemini men are fun.
They are.
They'll ruin your life, but they're fun as fuck.
I've never had better conversations than I've had with Gemini men.
Yes. And like my best friend Gemini, her and I, we can shoot the shit for so fucking long.
I believe it.
We can, like, her and I stayed in Paris together in the same room, and it's just like nonstop, like, gossiping, like all night, like that's how I am with Geminis, and I really appreciate that. But my Venus, which everyone, that's the love. Yeah. How you are in relationships. It's in Virgo. So it's like,
okay.
I'm very analytical and very like, I can be sometimes a little like controlling, because Virgos can be sort of like, I need to like control this situation.
They like to be in charge. They like to steer the ship.
Yes. And so I definitely see that. I can kind of like overanalyze a relationship like a lot, and I know that I do that. But then I'm also I'm such a romantic, emotional, passionate person. So it's like,
I love that.
We're battling.
Yeah.
We're duking it out in here.
It's hard, but you accept both sides of yourself, and you're like, just yin and yang it. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, girl, I don't know what we're going to get today, but
every day is something new.
That's the fun of it.
Every day is a winding.
I get a little bit closer.
Okay, Cheryl. Yes, it is. Like you mentioned earlier, you recently just got back from Europe, where you went to Paris and Dublin. Mm-hmm. Why did you go to Paris? Ashley, share with class. Why?
So I went for this like little indie artist. Her name is Taylor Swift. She's not very big. Like, she's really big in France.
You saw her on, I believe, the second night.
Yes.
Of the start of her European leg tour.
Yes. Yeah, because we went Friday. Yeah, and then she was there.
Yeah, I am beside myself, as you can see. Tell us everything. Tell us everything.
Well, so that was my second time seeing her. I did see her at MetLife also last May. It's been a year.
Yeah, it has been a year. And shout out to Ashley, because she really saved me. Taylor was here for 3 nights. Ashley went the night before me, and she gave me a huge heads up that getting home was a nightmare.com.
Yeah.
This little girl ran her ass to the train when Karma started, the finale.
Yeah.
I got on the first train out. I moved it in my little silver cowboy boots. I fucking booked it. I was getting screamed at by security. They're like, ma'am, no running, slow down. And I was like, I've got to get home. I'm not.
I will if you can catch me.
No, literally, I was like, I am not waiting out here for 4 hours to get home.
No.
Sorry, I won't do it.
No, and me and my friend Emily, who I went with, we learned that lesson because we went to Beyonce like 2 months later, and the same thing. Beyonce was like floating around doing her summer renaissance, saying goodbye, and we said, we need to get the fuck out of here, and we sprinted to the train. Same thing. We got on like the first train, but because it's a nightmare. Anyone who doesn't live in New York City, when there's a concert at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
It's a journey.
You have to get to Penn Station, first of all. Then you have to take the New Jersey Transit. Then you have to transfer. Why is there not a fucking direct train? So I did see her in MetLife, and I will say MetLife was way better.
Really?
Yeah, than Paris.
What about it? Was it the energy?
Energy.
Okay, because I actually was going to specifically ask you US versus Europe crowd, like what was it like?
So there were a lot of American fans there.
I heard, and the Parisian girls were not pleased.
Yeah, but there were also...
I kind of don't blame them. We suck abroad. Yeah. I mean, you and me, we're good. Most Americans, we're going to make a separate podcast about this, about American etiquette abroad 101. Like, y'all need to get your heads out of your asses. And I'm allowed to say that because I used to work abroad. I've been abroad many times. We are a damn train wreck.
Yeah. Okay, but I will say, we had floor tickets. We got VIP. We got floor tickets. I've never had floor before, but when we went to look at tickets, they were like $300 for VIP on the floor.
You had to.
Yeah, obviously we're going to do that. So the thing with this stadium is there was I think there were some seating on the floor, but it was standing.
Okay.
All standing, which like made me a little nervous because I was like, you girl's 32. I got to sit. I need a seat.
I like a seat.
Okay. I need my space, like whatever.
Yeah.
So we got there early because of VIP. We were let in sort of early.
Cute.
And so there was a lot of space closer to the stage, but we made the decision to stand near, like, where like the lights are.
And not be in the bloodbath?
Yeah, not be in the bloodbath. But where they like have just like huge lights, and they have a barricade around it.
Yes.
So we were like, why don't we stand against this like barricade? We're still close, but we have this
little bit of a support.
Yeah, we have support and we can like put our things down and like lean them against, right? That was the best decision we could have made.
So smart.
So we got there, we fucking got that seat. Like every time someone would go to the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack or whatever, we would like sprawl out to be like, nobody take this. Like we turned a child away. You know what I mean? Like we were not fucking playing.
Mama's night out.
So anyway, so then the crowd fills in, whatever. Paramore was the opener, which like
incredible.
Obsessed with Paramore. I'm a treat.
What a fucking treat.
Huge Paramore fan. Also saw them last year at MSG. They were amazing. Paramore begins, and these two girls in front of us, Emily and her girlfriend, were in the bathroom. So me and my friend Kayla were kind of like, sprawled out a little bit. I was in like a wide second stance,
Hello. You weren't playing.
Look, I got long legs. I'm going to use them.
As you should.
So they decide, we're going to like kind of put our heels up on this like barricade that we were like standing on. Mind you, it's like fucking an inch like higher off the ground. So these girls stand there and me and my friend Kayla look at each other and we go, what the fuck? Like, and I literally go into this girl's ear and I'm like, can you move forward? Like, girl, I shouldn't be able to smell your perfume. What is going on? This girl looks at me and she goes, oh, well, we're short, in her French accent. Oh, well, we are short. I'm not going to do it. Sorry. We are short. She goes, oh, well, we're short. Like, I can't see. Like, and I go, girl, 1 inch isn't going to help you. Like, get the fuck off my island. Get off my land.
So American of you.
Yeah. So we just stare at them and they were like not relenting. And so me and my friend Kayla, we were like, okay, you want to play that game? The second Paramore starts. We scream louder than we've ever screamed in our lives. Oh. I probably destroyed my vocal cords because we were screaming so loud. These two girls would pull up their phones to record and we would immediately be like directly into the camera. And they would be like, and stop recording. And I'd be like, yeah, bitch, you want to fucking stand here? I can play that game. I'll be louder than you. Like, but we were crying laughing because we were like, this is so fucking funny.
It's funny.
Meanwhile, we won. They walked away.
Come on.
But that was the one moment where I was like, yeah, I hope they're talking shit and saying these obnoxious Americans. And I go, you bet your fucking ass. Okay. We got there first.
Fair.
I'm sorry. You like,
listen, the Eras Tour is just different. Everyone has got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
It's just a miracle to get a goddamn ticket.
I know. And look, I'm like I'm a respectful fan. I'm not going to be like crazy like that, but I don't like that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
They sounded a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is with me is like I said, like I'm not a mean girl, but if you piss me off, if you fuck with one of my friends, if you do something disrespectful, you think you're a bigger dog than I am. You're not.
You're not to be crossed.
No.
Ashley Carter is not the one.
That's how I am. Like, I'm very peaceful. I'm very, like, whatever.
You're fair. You are a fair person.
The second you pull some shit, I turn vicious and I will outdo you in meanness. Like,
I love it.
Okay. So anyway.
Like I said, the friend everyone wants to have. The new set Come on.
Oh my God.
That's really what I'm jealous about, is because I love the Tortured Poets department. I think it's a fabulous album. And I was thinking leading up to the tour, I was like, you know what? I bet she's putting in a whole new fresh set, because she also wants to say, hey fans, thanks for waiting a whole year to see me on tour. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to add in a little fun surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
Sure enough, she did.
And it was one of my favorite parts.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, I was pretty ambivalent about Tortured Poets department. Sorry.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
Girl, why did you give us 31 songs? I don't have time for that. I do, but
It's anyway.
But it was so good. It was the black and white, the drama of it all. She had like a whole skit.
Drama, yes.
The craziest part is that when she was singing I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, she's flashing pictures of Eras tour, and she's essentially like, yeah, I fucking got on stage for you bitches after my 6-year relationship ended, and then my like weird situationship with Maddie Healy ended. Like, yeah, I was up there every fucking night, and we were like, yeah, girl, like, sorry, fucking love you, I'm so sorry.
We do owe that woman an apology, big time.
Yeah,
I love this album because she called out the fans,
and I do too, and I think
and I was
she
like,
should.
we needed to hear it.
In general, I will say, like, the French, like, it was very tame. I couldn't believe
It wasn't
how
as wild as a U.S. crowd.
No, and
so did the energy feel lower?
it felt lower, and like there were so many people standing on the floor, not even
Dancing?
moving, not even like swaying their hips, not even. I was like, are you sleeping, standing up? What are you doing? Like, the fuck?
That makes me so angry
Yeah.
to hear.
And it was so bizarre. So meanwhile, like at MetLife, I couldn't hear myself think because the screaming and the singing was
Right.
so. But I love singing along with the crowd. That's like such
Yes.
a. And people were doing it, but it felt so tame. It felt like
What?
we were like chit chatting like while the song was on, and we could hear each other. Like,
Weird.
it was very strange. So I will say I did prefer the American crowd at MetLife. I don't know what it was, but it was way different. I also feel like Swifties are a complicated crew.
Definitely.
And I have a lot of thoughts about.
Actually, we should take the time to talk about it, because I wanted to talk about this as well. Like, I'm technically a Swiftie. However, I'm not the type of Swiftie who's ever going to dox you.
No,
I have ethics, rules, boundaries.
I have a life.
Taylor Swift is still a human.
Yeah.
She's my favorite pop girl of all pop girls.
Yes.
She really is my number one. She's still human. I don't need to idolize her every single day. I appreciate her. I love her artistry. I really see her as an artist, truly. Because I'm like, she's so, her written word, the way she puts together a show and all the details and the Easter eggs and the layers and the meaning, and no one does it better than her. No one. We are so lucky to be alive in this time and see her like share her art with us.
Yeah.
So I really see her in that regard. I'm like, she's an artist to me first and foremost.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swifties are mostly weird.
The Swifties, a lot of them are really ruining the experience for me. And I think for a lot of people who are just like, hey, I appreciate Taylor Swift as an artist. I think her lyrics really resonate. I think she's so brilliantly, unendingly talented. I am not going to go to the edge of the fucking earth for her. She's a person I do not know. Oh. I don't know her. I wish we could hang out.
Yeah.
But I don't know her. She doesn't know me. She is a character in some ways. Yeah. And
we know a version of Taylor Swift. We do not know Taylor Swift the person. That's the other thing.
Yes.
And that's okay. She doesn't owe us that. She is allowed to exist as a person outside of her career and have privacy, first and foremost, and not fuck with us. That's absolutely okay.
Yeah. Her fans have become this beast of her good intentions, I feel, where like it was originally like she was so connected with her fans, like in the Tumblr era, and she was so involved with them in such a deep, personal, meaningful way, because I think she really liked doing that. And now it's sort of just evolved into this like absolute group psychosis.
I feel like it's constantly people trying to outdo each other, like out Swiftie each other. Like, I'm really the number one fan. No, I am. And this is how more dedicated I'm spending more money and I'm doing more of this. And it's like weirdly competitive. And I'm just like, come on.
You know what? I'm a Beyonce girl first and foremost. Beyonce's been in my life. Look, my AAM scream name was Dangerously in Love. You know what I mean? I am a Beyonce girl from the jump. I was a Destiny's Child girl. I'm a Beyonce stan. Like, so.
And it begs the question, how does it feel to share a name with your idol?
Okay. It feels fucking great. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
My name on her album, that's crazy.
Cowboy Carter, hello.
Hello.
Ashley Carter, hello.
It does. I do stop a little bit and I'm like, well, it's Jay-Z's last name. But you know what? I don't care how she got it from that man.
Her children have that name too. That means something.
Blue Ivy Carter, her manager.
That means something. Her legacy has that name. Yeah.
As a Beyonce fan, like I do feel like I see a different sort of fandom, like the Beehive versus like Swifties. And it's like, I will just say, just from going to both of their concerts now, I've seen Beyonce twice, I've seen Taylor twice. Mm-hmm. The crowd at Beyonce is way more chill, is way more respectful. Yeah. Like, I've only ever had an issue at fucking Taylor Swift, even at MetLife. And even my friend Emily said the same thing. She's like, yeah, people are really intense at Taylor Swift and they're really like disrespectful. And I don't know if it's just like part of that whole, like, really, she attracts these like very intense people. And then meanwhile, I go to Beyonce and it's just like, yeah, we're just shaking ass and having a great time. Exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so it's like such a different dynamic. But what I have come to appreciate about Beyonce, which I used to hate so much, is that she doesn't fucking talk to us. And it doesn't create this insanity,
false sense of closeness.
Which I think has become Taylor's sort of detriment, that I wonder how she feels about it and how she probably has such complicated, nuanced feelings about it.
Because I think she very much still deeply loves her fans.
Of course.
However, it's very clear that we've caused a lot of issues and at times pain in her life. Yeah. And that's really sad.
And also think about how it has inadvertently or like consciously made her make certain decisions, even in her personal life.
I think like right now in the height of her career and the biggest tour of her life, probably, but I mean, I won't hold her to that. I mean, she loves to surprise us.
Yeah.
Every decision she makes has to be under the guise of like my safety and do I have enough security and is this going to cause too much attention? Like even a few months ago when Jack Antonoff got married and all those people swarmed the wedding venue, I was so disgusted to see that because I'm like, yo, this is someone's wedding.
I was horrified.
This is so disrespectful.
And I had read she left early because to get the fucking
she was
crowd
embarrassed.
away.
It brought so much attention. And like, yes, it was a celebrity packed wedding, but a lot of those people were there to see her. They just wanted a glimpse of her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not the time or place, babe.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a few people. It was
hundreds.
Swarms of people. Yeah, I think of that all the time. Even from just like my small little TikTok thing. Like sometimes when people post comments, for the most part, I'll ignore them and just like live my life. But some of them do get into
because you're a human,
your psyche, you know? Yeah. And so is she. In a way, you might kind of feel yourself acting a little differently because you're like, oh, well, they said this thing about me. And like, oh, they thought that was pathetic. And, you know what I mean?
You're aware that people are watching you.
Yes.
You're being analyzing your behavior and trying to make meaning out of things.
You're being perceived and like, yeah. So I cannot imagine on that level. And
no, I actually think all the time she must have an amazing mental health team.
Yeah,
there's no way. The fact that she's still standing, also she's putting in the work, she's doing what she needs to do to support herself, and this album really was a peek behind the curtain to like, no, this shit really tears me up.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
Yeah, she was really raw and honest about it.
That was so generous of her to do. She didn't owe us that, but I'm glad she did, because I think a lot of the fandom needed a wake-up call just to be more respectful. And yeah,
they're not gonna though.
No, people are way too selfish. Yeah, try to cancel me, Swifties.
Yeah,
bitch. So you got to see the fabulous new set, the surprise songs, which is one of my favorite things about the tour. It was a mashup of Is It Over Now and Out of the Woods, and then My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. You got a mashup, girl.
I know. Yeah, I was really excited about Out of the Woods when she pivoted into that, because like I said, Torture Poets department was a lot for me. I couldn't I digest all of it in time by the time I saw her.
Because this was top of May. The album hadn't been out too terribly long.
Yeah, like 2 weeks maybe. And I also feel like I needed to be in a certain headspace to listen to that album because a lot of it is very like emotional. And I've been in my pop diva era.
Yeah. She's like, I'm having fun right now.
But I will say the Tortured Poets Department set made me go back and like really appreciate those songs.
Yay.
So when I saw
Do you have any standout favorites? Share.
Daddy I Love Him is like now
That was
such
my
a
favorite.
bop.
That was
Yeah.
my first. I was like, this one.
Oh, I love it. I
This
just
one.
love that she's like, I'm having his baby. Like, it's so dramatic. But
It's so-
She's like, no, I'm just kidding.
I forget who said it, but someone was like, it's perfect 90s country. And I was like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Chicks and Shania and that like just like emotional pop
Yeah.
talking about feelings and
shows like I am in this crazy situation that no one approves of, but I'm in it and I don't care.
I
Like,
love when she was like, and I'll tell you something about my good name.
Yeah.
It's mine alone to disgrace. I was like,
yeah.
oh my God, say that.
And she said,
She said, I'm aware.
She goes, I didn't see
And I'd
any.
do it again.
Yeah. She's like, oh, those long essays you wrote, those opinion
Listen.
articles, bitch, I didn't fucking see any of them.
Listen, are we all going to act like we haven't been in a manic relationship before?
Oh my God.
Where we
no.
let some boy ruin our life?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Year 2022, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. You know who you are. Fucked me up.
Come
bad.
on. I've slept with a Republican. Like,
Yeah.
pre-Trump, I'll say. Pre-Trump.
Okay. Yeah.
It was different.
It was different. That was a different time. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, it really, we're out here being victimized, even Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. Like, oh, we have all been love bombed.
Yeah. Love bombed. We've been like so like, oh yeah, this person is objectively bad, but something keeps pulling me back.
We're like, we just have this connection. They understand me. We speak the same language. All those things might be true, babes, but they're mentally unstable.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah. they're
Get
bad.
out.
But yeah, the surprise songs, I felt kind of like, ooh, that's my bad. That I didn't really know them as much. But at MetLife, you know, I got Maroon and fucking
Oh my God, you were there for the Maroon
Getaway
night.
Car.
Oh my God. I was sick to my stomach. I was
those two were
fuming. I was screaming because Midnights had recently come out then. Maroon is one of my favorites.
so
All-time
good.
favorite of the album. And then she put out Jack
And Jack Antonoff for Getaway Car.
I screamed on the top of my lungs.
Getaway Car. Though I love his
I left
background.
you at the motel, and they like did the bit. Oh my God!
Whoa. Oh my God, it was so good. So
Yeah,
I feel like
you got the best concert night that weekend. That
I
was the
got-
best one.
Yeah, I got a really good one. So I was sort of like, oh, it's okay that I didn't really.
I'm so glad you had that experience though. VIP Paris with friends. How fun!
I know.
How
we had
freaking fun.
We had such girly pop time. I love female friendships so much. Like I love my boys. I have
Amen.
I have two
To the girls.
Yeah, to the girls. I have two male friends who I love so much. I love them dearly. But when I was with my girlies, it just felt so special. Like
is.
it's
Hello.
a different little
It's
connection.
different. It's different.
People treat you differently too when you're a group of girls. Like only a group of girls, you know?
Are they being nicer?
So much nicer.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey girls, like you want
Like, look at those fun girls hanging out doing fun
like,
things
oh my
together.
God.
You girls want a round of drinks?
Yeah. I've made some really shitty dating choices in my life, but I'm proud to say that I make really good friendship choices. The rose-colored glasses are on for men and sex and love and whatever, but when it comes to my friendships, I feel like I have a really good idea of who I want in my life.
Amazing.
That's all I got. You know, I gotta have one
No,
thing.
Ashley, don't make me read the intro again. You got more than that, girl. You are a great friend to people, and you do have a really solid, amazing group of friends. And that is something to brag about, and that is an amazing feat because some
Very
people really
lucky.
suck at friendship.
I know, and some people, and I know
Can't
from,
relate. But
but I just know that some.
sorry, I'm beloved.
Yeah. So sorry. Look, here I am, just being myself, and people want to hang out with me. No, but I see people struggle sometimes, and I see like, you know, people online and stuff, and I'm like, damn, I feel bad, but like, couldn't be me.
No, it just. I do feel some people it just does come harder for, and sometimes things like circumstance and proximity play into things. Like sometimes you just live in the bumfuck middle of nowhere and you have a very small pool of people. What are you gonna do?
And you get
What are you gonna
unlucky.
do?
Yeah, it's really luck.
It's easy for us to sit in one of the most populated cities in the world, where we are around a lot of like-minded people, progressive, a lot of media people, a lot of people who like creative, pop culture, news, all of the above. Like, we're going to find people we connect with.
Yeah.
But maintaining the friendships, test of character. Yeah. Proud of you, kid.
You gotta put in a lot of work. They take work.
It does.
Good. It's fun work. It's not like
it's the best work you'll ever put in. Relationships. I've said it before on this show. Number one most valuable thing in my life, relationships. And by relationships, I mean friendships. Absolutely. Because your girl's single, and I'm on a self-imposed dating break.
Oh. She's here by choice, folks.
I am here by choice, and that is.
And if you think it's otherwise,
listen,
you're
I'm
crazy.
in my entrepreneur era. Don't try to tempt me.
Yeah.
Don't you dare introduce yourself to me being like, oh, you want to go? No.
You temptress, get away from me
I want you to.
with your handsome looks and your rugged masculinity.
I know, it's just like every time I step outside, I have to tell someone to leave me alone. No, like, don't look at me.
Literally just trying to live and like be a pod girl.
No, listen, I retired from the application Hinge after nearly 5 years of service.
The application. I put in my resignation.
I was on that for 5 years. I had to take a mental health break. Okay, Ashley, so now's the time where I have to ask you the central question of this show, which is, what is something you'd like to be frank about?
Okay, here's what I want to be frank about. I can't stand when people can't handle a bad bitch. When people see someone who's out there minding her business, she's wearing something that most people could never pull off. They don't have the confidence to. And she's just exuding beauty and grace and charisma, and people have a fucking problem with it. And I thought that this had died out because it's 2024. Everyone is sort of just embracing. But I've had some experiences recently with groups of people where they are like offended that girls are dancing on the bar, or like girls are showing their ass in there. And I'm like, what?
They're having fun.
They're having fun. Okay. They're probably 22 years old. That's what they should be doing. Their ass should be out. Their ass and titties actually should be out. Like,
That's what you do at that age.
I can't stand it. I've always felt this way too, because I'm like, why do you care so much? I know it's like an insecurity thing, and people have their own things. It's always a projection.
It is.
And it's a reflection of them. It's not them. But I can't fucking stand it, because I'm like, those people are having a great time. Let them wear their tight little outfit. Let them act like a little hoe if they want, if they're not hurting someone. Why do you care so much? Why do you care? I
And
hate
to
it.
counter that point, can we, if we zoomed out for a minute, what if when we went out, there was no one doing those things? There was no characters. There was no one bringing the oomph, the energy, the looks.
Yeah.
It would be so boring. We'd live in such a boring world. You want everyone to act the same and look the same and be the same? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah, fucking Kyle. No creativity.
I want to see Nicole and Natalia, best friends for 13 years, up on the bar, shaking their butts.
I do too.
Not harming a fly.
Not harming a fly.
Bringing the vibes to a bar.
It's also like, you know, if someone has like an outlandish outfit on in general, it's like,
I love an outlandish
me
Thank you.
too.
Thank you. Runway.
Thank you for being different. Thank you for not looking like every other bitch. Like,
Thank you for giving my eyes something to feast on for once.
exactly. I'm proud of you for being creative and reaching outside of
Fashion.
like,
Were people complaining about this in New York City?
Not as much, but it's like when I've gone elsewhere, and it's because it doesn't exist as much in New York. I think people are sort of like,
I'm sorry, like kick them out.
Yeah.
Anyone saying that shit in New York, like you don't know what you signed up for.
no, I know.
This is what makes this place great, is
Yeah.
the weirdos, the characters, the eccentrics.
Yeah.
This is a city of, hello, this is why I thrive here. I am one of those.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm sensitive to it too, because I've had that those comments before where people are like, "Oh, you're like really dressed up," and I'm like, "Okay, just say you look bad." Like, I'm sorry, I look so good. Nice fucking ripped jeans. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
I'm there with you, and people are like, "Oh, you're really dressed up." I'm like, "And what about
And?
it? This is me.
Yeah. And I
Take
look
it or
great.
leave it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, let me be a bad bitch and you can go back to doing whatever the fuck you're doing, okay? Which I don't care about.
You're doing incredible work out here, I just have to say, in your writing, in how you show up in your friendships, in how you show up when you're going out. You're protecting those that need to be protected, and thank you for your service. I just want to say that.
Wow. I didn't even know I was doing all that.
You, Ashley, look in the mirror, babe. You're doing incredible things.
Vibing. Just out here vibing.
You're doing it right, dare I say. But yeah, fuck the people who don't want to let a bad bitch live.
Yeah. Let bad bitches live.
Just let them do. You guess what? You don't have to marry them.
Yeah.
You don't have to be their friend. You don't even have to talk to them.
No.
If they're not harming or disrespecting anyone, then leave them alone.
You don't have to dress like them. You don't have to act like them. They can do whatever they want, and so can you. And you can just
Exactly.
mind your own business.
Actually, I have this amazing recommendation. It's actually really good for your well-being and everything. It's called Minding Your Own Business. Try it sometime.
Yeah. Take the highest dosage of minding your own fucking business.
XL pills.
Ask your doctor to
Minding
up
your own
it.
business adds years to your life.
Minding your own business will give you better orgasms.
Minding your own business will give you a fat ass.
Minding your own business will get you that promotion at work.
Minding your business will make your stocks rise.
Yeah, and minding your own business is just fucking fun.
It is. And it's honestly, guess what? This is the craziest part. It's so fucking easy.
And it's
so easy to do.
you know what?
Because you just don't do anything. You just boop, 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 boop. Mind your own
Also,
business.
it's free 99 too.
It's
so,
free. In this economy,
Yeah. Take whatever you got.
anything free, we are snatching. Because that's a lost commodity. Free. Absolutely incredible. Ashley, you have been one hell of a guest. You brought the gab. You brought the girl power. And I'm not saying that in a corny way. I'm saying that in the cool way, please. You gave us the lowdown about Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour and the new Tortured Poets department set. Thank you so much. Personally, I was looking forward to that.
I know. She was shaking with anticipation.
I was like...
She's like, when can I bring it up?
I actually told my sister this morning, she goes, oh God. Because she was like, you're not about to be obnoxious. And I was like... Jonna, Lynn, Juicy, Fronk, Smith. I'm about to be so obnoxious and you know it. I actually think I did okay.
No, you were great.
I handled it well.
Yeah. I hope I didn't disappoint with my regaling.
You were yourself. I just wanted you to come as you were and be honest, and you gave me that. And I'm glad you had that experience. I am jealous, but I'm mostly happy for you. I want you to really know that.
You've grown past the jealousy and
I will always be a little jealous, but I am equally as happy for you. Yeah. Like, I'm so glad you got to kiki with your girls in Paris. I mean, that's a trip you'll think about for the rest of your life.
No.
And they'll be telling like their kids, if they choose to have kids one day, about it. Like those are the memories and experiences that make life worth living.
Mm-hmm. It's very special. Yes.
Very special.
And always romanticizing. I romanticize moments with my friends too. I look at them.
If we don't, what do we have?
Literally. There's beautiful music playing in the background when I'm having a good laugh with them, a glass of champagne. Like
I mean, I created a whole show just to get my friends to spend more time with me. Exactly. I'm obsessed with you.
Please come over. I have a mic.
I will platform anyone. Just kidding. No, I won't. You were such a good time. You brought, did I not say she's a professional good time gal? I was not lying about this. Like Ashley, like I'm so glad we've met. I'm so glad our paths have crossed. I'm a huge fan of your work. Everyone, you better follow this girl on TikTok because we didn't even get to talk about her TikTok, which is very impressive. She has almost, like I said, 120,000 followers. Ashley, thank you so much for coming on Let Me Be Fronk. This has been a delight.com, just sitting and gabbing and shooting the shit with you and talking all things Taylor, work, career, dating. You have been so generous with sharing your life and your wisdom and your insight.
Oh, this has been so
fun.
fulfilling and
back.
like beautiful, and I love this.
Thank you. Okay, everyone sound off in the comments that you demand she comes back because I want to have her back immediately too.
Twist my arm. I hate talking to a mic. It's crazy.
Everyone, how can people connect with you if they would like to after this episode?
You can find me on TikTok or Instagram at Ashwee Carter. That's my handle.
Cute.
And that's it. Don't look for me anywhere else. Don't find my LinkedIn.
Don't be weird. Yeah. No,
don't be weird.
Let's not do that. Stop.
No, I'm just kidding. But that's where you can find me. Like, subscribe, you know.
And you guys should. And also be on the lookout for her articles at Teen Vogue. They're so funny. They're great. They're delicious. If you love pop culture, right up your alley.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I had a great time.
I had a great time. I just feel like I was hanging out with a friend.
Me too.
This wasn't work.
Yeah. There wasn't even wine involved. I'm just like going and going.
Could you imagine? Actually, I have an idea for you later. We'll talk. Everyone, thank you for tuning in to Let Me Be Fronk. As always, we drop new episodes every Wednesday. You can subscribe on Spotify for the podcast only version edition of the show, or on YouTube, which I prefer because there's extra segments, bonus content, etc., maybe some bonus clips coming. Stay tuned. And I'll see you back here next Wednesday. Thank you, love you for all the support.
Together.